Well, good evening, Rooted, and we're back again for another message of this world. And if you saw last week's video, you'd have seen that I talked about this sort of message of being dissatisfied. And really, being dissatisfied, it is seen all over the world, all over our culture. And actually, I think one of the answers that our world has for be dissatisfied is instant gratification, or have everything now, have it all, immediately be satisfied. That's kind of the message that the world sort of preaches at us. In fact, you look at some of the songs in culture. I mean, some of you may know of Queen. I guess most of you have heard of them, but they sang a song called that went, "I want it all and I want it now." A much more recent band, one of my favorite bands actually, called Arcade Fire, wrote a whole album called Everything Now. It's really about our age, our digital age, and how we want it all. We want it all now. And the song that goes to Everything Now says, "I need it everything now. I want it everything now." The answer for many people of this dissatisfaction, of this discontentment, is to fill that hole, fill that void, fill that feeling straight away, and feel something, experience something. So if you want it, you want to have it straight away. If you feel like you should feel something, you should feel it straight away. If you've got an itch it straight away. And actually, I think, even in my lifetime, this has become more and more the case. As technology's improved, as smartphones and things like that have become more advanced, this sort of feeling has become much more prevalent. So you just got to think about it. I mean, think about... well, firstly, it goes from fast food. So you go to fast food, I want my food now. Now we get takeaways, and I want my takeaway food delivered to me, and I want it right now so that I can enjoy food. Amazon, shout out to Steve Sims, is mad on this. Like, I can order something now and get it straight away. I can get it the same day. I want it right now. I want to itch that itch. Or even just think about... I mean, one of the most lucrative things in this world is pornography. You've got a sexual desire, you're feeling like you want a sexual release, then you can just quickly click a button and have that release. Our whole culture really preaches this sort of thing of instant gratification. And the very interesting thing, I think, is that if you look at our world and you look at our culture and you look at the people in it, these people that so want to be filled right now are so often discontent, and they still feel this dissatisfaction, even though their lives are filled with so much, and they have everything from the technology, from the programs, from the games, the music, all the possessions that they have, all of the things that they have. There is still a deep discontentment in people's lives. People, we saw it in one of our worldviews, is a kind of a nihilistic feeling. There's a meaningless and emptiness in people's lives. And I think that's probably why, it's interesting that there's so much suicide in our age. When people have so much, there is still so much suicide around us. The other thing that happens as a result of this is when you don't get something, there's just so much anger and there's so much frustration. I mean, it's one thing that's definitely the case is that in young people, more or so, that end up getting jobs, they're just really, really unhappy. And the reason that they're really unhappy is because they're not getting everything they thought they would get straight away. They realize that actually you've got to work a little bit before you get rewards. And that's something that they're not used to. You think about your lives, you can get everything at the click of a finger. So jobs, there's dissatisfaction. The recent thing we've talked about with the whole justice, we want justice straight away. I mean, one of the best ways to think about this is if when you were Young, if you were young, growing up when I grew up and you were young, we used to have internet, a dial-up connection, and it would take ages to get on the computer. Now, if it takes more than a minute to get on the computer, it's, this thing's rubbish, and you're ready to chuck out your computer, you're ready to chuck out your smartphone. It's just because when there's no notion of patience anymore. There's no notion of waiting. In fact, patience is kind of a dirty word, I think, in many ways. And that's just not the Christian message. See, the Christian message is one of patience, is one of waiting, is one of enduring, is one of persevering. Look at Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1 to 3 to me. I think considering Christ here is the best antidote to what the world preaches. Here's what it says. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. Did you see that? When we look at Christ, we don't see someone that said, I want instant gratification. We see a man who was willing to go through hardship and trial and the cross for something greater. For the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. He went through it patiently because the result, the reward was so much greater. He ends up sitting at the right hand of the Father, and he wins himself a people that will be with him forever. And so we should have the same mindset as Christ. We can go through this world and we can patiently endure because there's something greater than this world that we have. Christ on the cross wins everything for us now. And that means that we will have everything to come. So we don't need to look in this world for instant gratification. We don't need to look into this world to fill us. We need to look to Christ. And we need to wait patiently for the day when he takes us home to be with him, and we will have everything our hearts could ever desire. The world says instant gratification. The Christian message says wait patiently and receive eternal gratification.